Now at 6, questions and concerns growing in Gwinnett County after Atlanta News first revealed a school bus driver charged with 2 DUIs was allowed to continue transporting students. Atlanta News first reporter Adam Murphy broke the story and is live outside a school in Gwinnett County with new information tonight. Adam?
Tracy, I spoke with another Gwinnett County bus driver, not the one charged, who said this case has sparked some serious conversations among drivers about background checks and oversight. A former Gwinnett County school bus driver facing criminal charges is at the center of an Atlanta News First report. In November of last year, court records showed David Atkins was charged with driving under the influence of drugs while operating a personal vehicle. The case is still open and active. And in 2024, records show Atkins was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. Documents show this case was bound over to state court. Another bus driver who asked to remain anonymous expressed deep concern about why the district didn't address the issue sooner.
This should have been knowledge that the county had. We should not have had to notify upper management that this driver had 2 pending charges. The county should have known and should have addressed this.
Gwinnett County issued this statement saying GCPS requires all employees to self-report any arrest. Failure to do so results in consequences up to and including termination.
We should turn over every stone to make sure that the drivers we have are valid to be transporting our students.
The school district also said they do background checks on bus drivers' driving histories every 30 days. They said this process identifies convictions, not arrests. The bus driver we spoke with said they weren't aware of the monthly checks, but are in support of them.
If that is the statement that the county is putting out now, let's do it. Let's do it. All 1,800 plus drivers, run them every 30 days. What do we have to lose?
In addition, the school district said federal law requires the district to conduct random drug and alcohol testing annually, and they said they are compliant there. As for David Atkins, Gwinnett County said he is no longer employed with them. Live in Gwinnett County tonight, Adam Murphy, Atlanta News First.